Hi, my name is Morgan, and for my part of our presentation, I am going to be talking about the Chinese culture and the way they communicate in the business world. I think it's very important to know a little bit about every culture that you're going to encounter in your business profession because everything that you do is considered either rude or respectful, or every culture has a different viewpoint on your interactions with them. And it was very interesting when I was researching Chinese culture, the points that came up, which I'm going to discuss in a little bit. Our main chapter is chapter 3 for our group, and it talks a lot about the advantages of intercultural communication inside the workforce as well as the disadvantages, which I kind of focused more on. The advantages come into play when you are working hand in hand with them, kind of getting to know their culture and just experiencing new things that you probably wouldn't be experiencing just working with other Americans. The disadvantages come into play when individuals who are working with each other don't know exactly how to communicate in the most respectful manner, which is why I've brought up the points that I will discuss. I found very interesting aspects of the Chinese communication, and I think that it's very important, again, to know a little bit about the Chinese culture because this is what I'm talking about, but just in general, all cultures that you will be communicating with. The one that I found the most interesting was when you receive a card from a Chinese businessman, you have to take it with both hands, accept it, and keep it on the table right in front of you. If you put it below the table in your pocket, most Americans open their wallets and put it right in their wallet. I know I have a portfolio, and every time somebody gives me a business card, I just take it and put it right in my portfolio so I won't lose it. But that's actually considered disrespectful in the Chinese culture. During conversations, the Chinese will avoid eye contact with either the opposite sex or strangers. They'll typically look down at the floor or up in a corner, wherever your eyes are completely directed at them. When you meet someone for the first time for a business meeting, you should engage in a general conversation instead of just getting right to the point of the business meeting. Ask them how their family is, where they're from, what their hobbies are, just kind of get to know them on more of a personal level. This one was really interesting, I think, because I made a connection to our culture where the Chinese think that this specific action is disrespectful, so do we. It's when you point your index finger, beckon someone with the index finger, finger snapping, showing the soles of your shoes, or whistling to get someone's attention. I thought that it was really interesting because when I grew up, like my whole childhood, my mom told me, don't point your finger, try to explain it to me, don't go like, oh my gosh, hey, look at this person, that's considered rude in our culture as well as theirs. So I just found that pretty interesting as well. The oldest person is always greeted first, which is kind of interesting. Chinese prefer face-to-face meetings rather than written, and that one was kind of interesting too because in our culture, technology has become so big that we don't necessarily have to do face-to-face in person. It's face-to-face online, or we just email questions or send over documents, and so it's become a really technology-based workforce. Arriving late is an insult and could negatively affect your relationship. This one, I also found connections with our culture because we were always taught to be on time or to be a couple minutes early, which is exactly what this part of the Chinese culture is trying to explain. And the last one was that meetings require patience. You should never ask the Chinese to put away their cell phones because it might cause you both to lose face. Chapter 3 continues to talk about understanding the concept of culture, and by understanding the list of the Chinese etiquette, people will get a better understanding of their culture and there will be more respect presented. I strongly believe that respect is the biggest thing present in any kind of relationship, whether it's a married couple or a teacher and a student, or like a boss and a student, or a boss and a employee, just anybody in general. Respect is so important, and if people have respect in the business place, then they'll start realizing respect for different cultures as well. Thank you.